There is someone in your life right now who has been playing a game you didn't even know existed. They've studied your fears, your insecurities, your desires and fear, using that knowledge to control you like a puppet master, pulling invisible strings. You think you're making your own decisions, but you're not. You think you're in a normal relationship or friendship, but you're actually trapped in someone else's carefully constructed web of manipulation. The most terrifying part? By the time most people realize what's happening, their reputation, relationships, and sometimes their entire life has already been poisoned. But today, we're going to solve this problem using the cold, ruthless wisdom of history's most strategic mind, Niccolo Machiavelli. You're going to learn not just how to escape the trap, but how to turn it back on the person who set it. Most people, when they discover they are being manipulated, make one of two fatal mistakes. They either explode in righteous anger, giving the manipulator exactly the emotional reaction they can use. Against them, they retreat in confused silence, leaving the manipulator free to continue their game. Both responses are losing moves, and both are exactly what the manipulator expects. Today, we're not talking about appealing to someone's conscience or hoping they'll change. We're talking about something far more precise and permanent, using Machiavellian strategy to turn their own trap into the instrument of their downfall. This isn't about becoming cruel. It's about refusing to remain prey in a world where wolves disguise themselves as shepherds. Right now, someone in your life believes they are playing chess while you are playing checkers. They think they understand the game better than you do, and honestly, they probably do. But here is what Machiavelli would tell you about that situation. The moment you realize you are in the wrong game is the moment you can start winning the right one. Listen carefully, because this is where everything changes. You are about to stop being prey and start thinking like a prince. Most people, when they begin to suspect they are being manipulated, make one catastrophic mistake. They react with their emotions instead of their intellect. They get angry, they get hurt, they demand explanations, they try to appeal to the manipulator's conscience. Machiavelli would tell you that every single one of these responses is exactly what your enemy wants from you. Your emotional reaction is not a sign of your humanity. It is proof of their control. From this moment forward, you must become a physician studying a disease. You do not get angry at cancer for being destructive. You do not plead with a virus to stop spreading. You observe its behavior, you understand its mechanism, and you develop a cure. The person manipulating you is not your friend having a bad day. They are not misunderstood. They are not going through a difficult time. They are a strategic operator, and you must study them with the same cold precision that Machiavelli reserved for analyzing rival princes who might one day need to be conquered. Here is the first question that will change everything. Stop asking why they are doing this to you. Start asking what they want. Strip away their charm, their concern, their carefully constructed personality, and look only at the results of their actions. Where do they always end up when the dust settles? Do they gain your resources, your time, your reputation, your relationships? Do they isolate you from people who might offer different perspectives? Do they position themselves as your only reliable ally while everyone else becomes suspect? Every master manipulator operates from a specific objective, and once you identify that objective, every tactic becomes predictable. The subtle insult disguised as a joke stops feeling random and starts revealing itself as a confidence-breaking tool. The way they share other people's secrets with you stops appearing like intimacy and starts showing its true nature as a loyalty test. The confusion they create when you try to address problems directly stops feeling like misunderstanding and starts looking exactly like what it is: a defense mechanism designed to protect their operation from exposure. But here is their fatal weakness, and Machiavelli understood this about all people who seek power over others. They become arrogant. They believe they are smarter than you, more sophisticated than you, always 10 steps ahead of you. This arrogance makes them careless. They start to show off. They begin to enjoy the game too much. They leave evidence because they cannot resist demonstrating their cleverness, even if only to themselves. Your task is not to confront them. Not yet. Your task is to document everything while showing nothing on your face that suggests you understand what is happening. When they contradict themselves, You simply appear confused, not suspicious. When their stories do not match what they told others, you ask innocent, clarifying questions. When they make promises they do not keep, you quietly note the pattern without demanding accountability. You are gathering intelligence now, not seeking justice. You are mapping their battlefield while they believe you are still wandering around lost in the fog. Every conversation becomes data. Every story becomes evidence. Every manipulation becomes a documented case study in their methods and objectives. The more you observe through this strategic lens, the more you will see that what once felt like random cruelty is actually systematic operation. That perfectly timed criticism right before your important presentation, that sudden memory loss about promises made to you, combined with perfect recall of your mistakes. That wave of affection immediately after they push too far, keeping you off balance between gratitude and resentment. You must also observe your own reactions in their presence. Does your body tense when they enter the room? Do you choose words more carefully, feel pressure to prove yourself, automatically move into defensive positions? These physical responses are intelligence. They tell you that on some level, you already know you are not safe with this person. So you begin your transformation. Outwardly, nothing changes. You smile when appropriate, you respond normally, you maintain your usual patterns. Inwardly, you have shifted roles completely. You are no longer the subject being managed. You are the ruler collecting intelligence on a potentially dangerous advisor. You are not paranoid. You are precise. You are not overthinking. You are finally thinking with the cold clarity that Machiavelli reserved for those who intended to survive among wolves. Disguised as shepherds, you now see the game. You understand their objective. Every instinct in your body is screaming at you to confront them right now, to expose them, to let them know you are no longer their puppet. This urge is natural, and it is also the most dangerous trap you can fall into at this exact moment. Machiavelli wrote that the fox cannot defend against wolves, but it can recognize traps. The moment you reveal what you know, you surrender your greatest advantage. You trigger their defense mechanisms. They will adapt, shift tactics, and begin working on your credibility before you can present your case. They will paint you as unstable, paranoid, or vindictive to everyone around you. Now you are not just fighting their manipulation. You are fighting the narrative they built about you. This is why feigned compliance is not weakness. It is the most sophisticated form of strategic intelligence. You are not pretending to be fooled because you are afraid. You are pretending to be fooled because you are building something they cannot see coming. Consider what happens when a manipulator believes their tactics still work. They continue using them. Every time they manipulate someone who is now consciously documenting it, they build the case against themselves. They provide the evidence. They create the timeline. They demonstrate the pattern while you simply observe and record. Here is how this plays out. When they deliver their carefully constructed insults disguised as concern, you do not flinch. You respond warmly. You thank them for caring. Inside, you note the exact words, timing, audience present, and what they gained. When they tell you a distorted version of events, you listen with apparent interest. You ask questions that seem curious but actually get them to commit further to stories you can later disprove. You must save messages and communications. Note dates, times, exact words in conversations. Compare what they tell you against what they tell others through innocent questions, not suspicious questions. Simple, reasonable questions that reveal contradictions. When their story-to-person A conflicts with their story-to-person B, you do not announce this. You add it to your growing evidence collection. This process serves two purposes. You are gathering ammunition for the future, but you are also reclaiming your own mind. They have spent considerable effort making you question your perceptions, memory, and judgment. Every piece of evidence you collect proves to yourself that your instincts were correct, that what you sensed was real. You are infiltrating their operation by playing the exact role they cast you in. The manipulator relies on predictable feedback. They push a button, you react. By providing expected reactions, you keep them comfortable. They will not change strategy because they believe it is flawless. This complacency becomes the trap you are setting. Their entire worldview assumes people are easily read and directed. They view themselves as the only conscious player among sleepwalkers. Feigned compliance feeds this delusion. As their confidence grows, caution diminishes. They take bigger risks, make bolder claims, attempt more audacious power grabs. They overextend because they believe there is no resistance. You are not performing compliance out of fear anymore. You perform it out of strategy. There is quiet confidence in knowing what you know while appearing not to know it. You must sever emotional attachment to their validation. If they think you are weak, let them. Their assessment is no longer a reflection of your worth. It is simply a variable in your strategic calculation. You are hiding your awakening the way a ruler hides an army in the hills. They cannot attack what they cannot see. You become a mirror reflecting exactly what they wish to see, completely unaware that you have hollowed out the ground beneath their feet, packed with explosives of their own contradictions, waiting for the moment you choose.